works, how it is helpful in categorizing, classifying data into various groups, sections, etc., etc. So let's all now for this video. Actually, I was a bit confused what to do. Then I thought that it would be really great if we could also learn about lists. So I will be sharing my screen and we would be learning about list, completely learning about list, adding things, removing things, etc., etc. from the list. So let's start our tutorial, friends. So I'll quickly share my screen and open MS Paint because that is the only app which I have. Very poor. Okay, where is it? Yes, done. So I hope my screen is visible, everyone. So here now we have our MS Paint, which is our lifetime helper. So quickly we'll take it and let's adjust the size first. Each time I have to adjust and I'm very bored about this. So first of all, what exactly is a list? So if you have seen an array in C++, C or JavaScript, then you might be little bit, you might guess what exactly a list is. So when you think about a list, so list is nothing but about it is an array. So what exactly a array was in JavaScript? So array was basically, in simple words, when we see an array, you can like memorize, or you may remember that yes, there were two square brackets in which we had stored value, which may be this one, two, etc., etc. So it had many values in it. But like, how exactly are list or arrays helpful in Python? So when in the last video we had seen that we had created lots of if conditions as well, and we had given or, so that we could check more than one things at a time, and that was really very helpful, because or else it was taking too much time for us. So then this is why I'm thinking that arrays will be helpful, because when we want to check for things, we give or and if conditions. But if we want to save things which are similar in nature, what should we do? There are like, one can store things in a if condition using or. So this is when list comes to help. So list is just a set of two square brackets in which data which can be basically basically it can be of string type. I will just write str for string. Then it can also be integer or integral type. So for this I will write int. Please don't think that int is for initialize. And third, it can be float. So all these data types I had also taught you in the first tutorial, friends. I had told you what exactly is int, string and float, like the basic definitions I had told you, because I didn't want it to go too high so that you would understand nothing. So integer, I will revise you once again. Integer is nothing but natural numbers, not natural numbers, all the whole numbers, which is from 0 to positive infinite. This is when they are called natural numbers. No, sorry, yes, natural whole numbers. So when they are from 0 to positive infinite, they are integers. Float is also the same thing, but it may include any number in its decimal form. So please remember, that's the only thing to remember. So float has, like, it may include anything, negative number, positive number, but in its decimal form. Like even one will be written like this, 1.0. It won't never, like, none of the value in float would be written without a decimal point. Though it can be 250 with no decimal point needed, but still, like normally when there is a zero after decimal point, like just 1 0, then we simply remove that zero and write only the whole number, which is exactly this one. But float is little bit too much intelligent and sometimes mad as well, so it also stores with a decimal point, but it is also helpful when we want to do very difficult calculations, finding the value of pi, etc. So string is nothing but between two single quotes or between two double quotes. So this is how string is made, like between two single quotes. Like in Python, two single quotes or two double quotes don't make much sense. Basically, actually make no sense. However, when you store data into single quotes in what we say C++ or Arduino IDE, it basically stores just a one length or single length value, such as just E, just D. If you give more than one letters or more than one length of characters in it, it does not store it. So for that, you need those double quotes things. But in Python, JavaScript, Java, those things don't apply. So string is any value which is within those two things. So string is the most easiest thing to understand, memorize, and so on. So this is how list is made. So list has this two square brackets, and not necessary that all those three things, which is string, float, and integer should be there in it. It may include just integer, just float, just string, or just two of those values according to the need. So one can store anything. But how is it exactly helpful? So as you can see, like I will give you example. This is a very beautiful shop with just one door and nothing in it. And there was a queue of people in it. Like there were a lot of people going there, nearly hundreds of people, but I don't have time to draw those many people. Like now they were in a queue and they thought that all would go inside together. So think this very intelligent person went in it. He went inside, he too went inside, he again went inside. So all those people they are in one shop, and think that a person came who is mad. He didn't know that those many people are there, 100 people are there in it. So he just closed the door, added some wooden slabs. This is just for example purpose. And then in this house, now we know that some people, about like they have their own interest, they just wanted to visit the shop. So those people, like I have drawn three but there were 100, are in one house. So the list is also basically the same thing. It is also a house in which lots of data is stored. We can cancel out each data and search for each data individually. So this is how list and this story is somewhat similar. You may understand the story or you may understand the list as well. It is not very difficult. And list has one main and most easy thing, that it has its data stored, like a data, then a comma, then another data. Like here it is zero, but I don't have any other thing to do. Like I will try to do it with just 1 minute. So like every data in a list is separated by a comma. So here every person was separated by his skin. So this is how it works. In a list, the person, like the data is basically separated from a whatever. The data is separate, yes, with a comma. So suppose that there are there are a certain data here, a certain data here, which is very great kind of data. So those two datas are different. So they are separated by a comma. So please remember this. So now I hope what exactly is list, how it stores data, like how it stores it, that will not be clear, but storing data, removing data, why list is important to store similar kind of data. So I hope it was clear. So I will stop sharing my screen. Oh, sorry, why I don't know why I stopped sharing my screen again. I will again share my screen. So I will quickly go to our file where I have stored all those Python programming, Python tutorials. Let's create a new file, a new folder, which will be uh, list read list necessity. So why list exactly is important? That is the name which I have given, because list is very important. Even in Arduino also, it helps a lot and many times. So I will close this. Okay, done. Let's create a file in it. Let it be list.py. Enter. So here, as we are going to get a lot of information about lists, so what I was thinking that we would understand, and we'll check some of the most like used list statements, such as append, remove, insert, pop, and many things. So that would be really great if we could learn all those things, and definitely we would be learning. So we'll make a collection. Like this is like uh, let this program be friend collection, because here in this program I will make a while true loop. I hope you have seen the last tutorial in which I had told how exactly a while true loop runs until the condition given is true. And since we have given here directly true, so it will keep on running until we give a break statement. So break is like break your bones. No, it is not like that. So while true loop, and in that we will get an input. No, we'll first of all create a list. So what name should we give to a list or a array? Array is called in JavaScript and C++. So let the name be list as well, list only. So list is equal to, there are two methods of creating a list. This is one of the method. Like I will again type it, you would understand. So those is auto import, and this is just the variable name, and this is list. So either you can make in this way and add some value by giving square brackets and a value called that may be 1 comma 0 comma 9 comma 7 etc etc. This is one of the thing what you can do. Like I will let those values be there so that it would be okay, done. And another thing what how one can make list is that you can directly write list is equal to, and in square brackets write whatever you want. Not whatever you want, you must follow the uh, rules. So list is equal to, you can't directly give alphabets because that will come in string, comma 1, comma 2.222. Okay. So this is how there are two methods of creating those lists. We would also print them just to see how they look. Print, print, and list. I need to change the name here of the second way how we had created the list. Let's change it to list 2 and above one as list 1. Okay, let's go down and list 1, list 2. Control save and would just run it. Okay, so I need to get this out of the loop, or else it would be just like as you can see. And now it's fine, well and good. I would simply give a hashtag sign here. So it's completely done, saved, deleted, and run again. So as you can see, it is printing the list. Similar, like both are printed in the same way, but just the first way is a person with no head. He would create the list with this way because both are the completely same. But in first way, if you want to do time pass, waste your time in making a list, then you can use the list function. But it has basically no use. So I would not prefer to use this thing. Instead, I would use the second technique because it is shorter and has no errors as well. So let's quickly do Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, and it's done. It's completely done. We'll delete this. And now, sorry, list one, I will have to delete you. Sorry, I will backspace you. And done. Let now this be list, and we would print those two. Sorry, delete backspace those two things because we don't need them right now. Would simply create a list now with no value. We will then get input from the user, and I hope you remember how to get the input. And let this be friend. For example, a person who does not remember anything, he wants to remember who these friends are, what is their name, and many things like where does he study, not where does he study, but yes, okay. So for example, like I too have many friends. So if I forget some of my friends, how would I remember them? So friend name is equal to input. So input and enter your friend's name. And again, friend number is equal to input shift 90 brackets, enter your friend's name. So we get both those things as input, and what do? We don't know. We do nothing. We basically would try to do like friend. We would just write friend data, and now we would create the array part here. We would be storing the friend name and friend number along with it. Like here, we would be giving friend name, comma, friend number. Done. And now we will be creating a list which we had already created. So we will be simply adding list dot. So now there are many ways, as you can see. So many ways. So first of all, we will be understanding what is append. Append is like we will uh, basically, there are two parts in this list. There are two methods of inserting as well as removing. So you can remember them properly when you make two parts of it. So please regret this bad drawing, basically of our story. So first of all, the two methods what are there is that uh, okay, done. Uh, Pend and remove. So these are very user friendly, like just like English, are basically just English. And these are two methods, and another two methods are okay. So too much good handwriting. Insert, append, remove, insert. What should we give now? Okay, yes, pop. So in JavaScript, you might be knowing the two methods of adding data to the list, which is push and pop. So similarly here there are again four methods, too difficult. So these two methods are for adding and these two methods are for removing some data. So append is like you have no control. Whatever data you give is added to the last of list. For example, you have added three kinds of data which is separated by each other with comma. So the fourth data which you are going to enter will be added to the last, just like a queue. Similarly, in the remove function, you can only give uh, the thing which you want to remove and it would remove it. Insert is also same in insert, but it is little more customizable than append. By according to your wish, by your wish, you can simply use length, and using the length of the list, you can decide whether to add it to the first by giving the length as 1 0 comma, and 0 comma after the comma it should give the data whatever you want to insert. And pop is like you just need to give the length of the list or part of the list where you want to remove. So very easy part, very easy. So append and insert are completely different from each other. However, remove and pop are like somewhat same, but in remove you need to just give the uh, what should we give? Like in remove part, you have to give the variable name or whatever data you have stored. If you give that, it will remove it. Or else in pop, you have to give the length. So actually, pop becomes a bit difficult than remove. So it's your wish what you want to use. And then list dot append. So we will simply add and see what happens. Friend data. No, friend data. So what will friend data exactly include is okay, just 1 minute. So it would be all including friend name as well, friend number as well. So first, instead of appending it, we would first print what exactly we get as friend data and press backspace, save it, run it. Okay, enter your friend's name, anonymous. Enter your Okay, why is it asking me friend's name again? Just 1 minute, friends. Friend. Okay, so we are fools. Friend's number. Okay, now it's correct. Anonymous. An anonymous number would also be anonymous, like very much guessable. Enter. So yes, it is stored in JSON format as I wished. So it would be very easy to remove, like to add data, remove data, etc., etc. So this is what we wanted. So print statement. Thank you for your service, but now we don't need you. So now we would use list dot append. I hope you understood what exactly append is. Append means simply add the variable name or data what you want to add, and it will simply add it without knowing where to add it at the last of the list. If nothing is there to the first, then if something is there after it, and after it. So basically, list append is not that customizable. However, if we see insert is much more customizable. So let's now run the code. Enter your friend's name. Again, my best friend is anonymous, and my friend's number is also very much anonymous. Okay, okay, okay. So this is in a while loop, so it would never end. So first of all, we need to remove it from a while loop. First of all, let's make this completely like print friend book, Facebook friend book, new and friend book exclamatory mark done. Now we would add nothing, or should we add something? Okay, we get some data in string format. A is equal to input. In double strings we would write. Uh, would you like to add your new friend or not? Okay, and then here we would give in double, like in shift 90 brackets, that press yes, Y for yes, and Y for yes, and N for no. So this is what would be typed here. And as always, it would be difficult if a very too much intelligent person would type capital Y. So we'll directly be converting it to A dot upper, and A will again store A dot upper. So like we are rechanging the data, and then if the favorite part, if A is equal to Y, or let's keep it as small y, and now here we would give as lower. Then what would it do? It would simply do nothing. I would just take this data, press tab, and it's done. Okay, why is it not done? Two times press. Okay, so we can't directly give, we need to give 2 is equal to signs to compare a value. If a is equal to y, then we would add all this data, y for yes and no and for no. Okay, we also need to add one more thing to see your friend list. So let us first complete our code, and this code is going to be little bit lengthy, not much, just of 50 lines, not much. A is equal to input. First of all, we get whether you would like to add your friend or not, or no, new thing what we would ask is, or would you like to see your existing friends? Y for yes and for no. And one more thing, or uh, S for seeing friends list. This is how it would work. A little big, not little bit, too much big print statement or input statement, what you can see. Or what I'm thinking is that we could also give this in a print statement, but let it be. So it would get the data, then we would say two things. If A is equal to Y, then we would get the data and append it to our list. And okay, so this would be a bit difficult. So it is taking time, too much time, no problem. And then enter. And again, this would be again in a while loop, which would always be asking the user and wasting its time. So again, select all this, give one tab and done. And here, if a is equal to y, then it would add it to the list. Or I think this should be added, like the list should be created previously, or else it would become a local variable. I hope you know what a local and global variable are. A global variable is the variable which is mostly introduced before, like before a condition, when you want to use it not only in that condition but even after, even after outside that condition. Like if I give in the if condition, I won't be able to see it after it. So then this is done. Like if a is equal to y, this would happen. If else, okay, so we would give elif a is equal to s, like for seeing the friend list. Then we would, okay, here we need to remove the while loop because it is not at all needed. Okay, yes. Now we would simply write in elif. Now we have, if someone wants to see the data, what exactly would a person do? So whenever we write list and if shift 9 is bracket 0, so it would show us all the data present in the first part. Like if I now I have data 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, then if I give list and even square bracket 0, then it would show me the length of the first part, which is 1. If I write 1, then this one. If I write 2, then this one. If I write 3, then this one. So this is how it would be working. But we don't want it like now. How would we read? So first of all, we would be using length and length function to find the list of a length of the list. And now enter. While, now we will not be using while and just a true, we'll be using while len is uh is okay. So what exactly should length be? Okay, just 1 minute, friends. While length, okay. mm, while length is equal to or greater than or lesser than, it's lesser than, but this won't always work. Okay, let's see what would happen, because errors are what which teach a person. So while length of a list is lesser than the actual length, so basically it will be equal to, no, it would be greater than length of the list, because we are storing those things, so basically they can't be compared. While length of the list exists, no, is greater than 0, so this would work. Then we would get data and print it. Name is equal to okay. uh, I'm really a big fool. First of all, we created a variable to store the value, and now I am fool that I'm not using the variable in like it is much shorter than the actual command which we are using, which is len and in shift line 0 brackets list. So once we get the length, what we would do is that we would check whether it is greater than 0, and definitely it would be not definitely, but if it is greater than 0, and then name is equal to list, and in shift 90 bracket shift square brackets, then we would give the length. Just 1 minute. Then length minus 1, and then we would again get the number. Okay, just 1 minute. Length minus 1 dot name, or how should we store it? Just 1 minute. Okay, so here it would again give us a problem. So we need to write name and is equal to. So again, this would also not work. Name is equal to front name. No, this would not work. Dot name would not work. So we would get the first person. Then now we would use. Now we have the data. So let's store in the variable data, because exactly it is not the name of the person. As you can see, it is combined front name as well, front number as well. So then we would use one more technique. We would do list dot sorry, data dot split. No, would this work or not? Work or not? Work or not? Would the work or not? Okay, work. And then we would give comma, because since we are storing this with a comma, so I hope it would work using a comma. And or else we can directly print the data dot split. um, and then this would be stored again in a variable called a. Please, okay, not in variable called a, variable called b. And b, in the first part it would be having the name, and the first second part it would be having the number. So name is equal to b 0, number is equal to b1, and then simply it would print name, comma, name, and number, colon, comma, and now we would give number. So let's see whether this much part is working or not. I have saved it, I would run it, I would just check it. So first of all, since the list at the starting would be definitely would be empty, so we would be okay. Now we would add some value. It would be friend's name, friend book. So this is working as I wished, but not as completely I wished, because I want a space between those two input function as well. So I would give an empty print statement, and then I would run it. Okay, would you like to add your? Okay, I want to add Y into your friend's name. So my friend's name is anonymous. My friend's number. Done. Again, now it has saved my number. Let's press S. I hope it doesn't work. So it doesn't work. So let's see what the problem is. So first of all, before printing all those things, we would previously print and length. Okay, length should also be reduced. Length is minus is equal to length. Now it would be good. We would again try once again whether it runs or not. Okay, I would again add one more thing. A 1 2 3 4 5. Yes, I would add A 1 2 3 4 5 6. Enter S. Okay, so I don't know what exactly the problem is. So let's see. So first of all, we get the length by the length function which we have given. Then using the length command, we check for whether it is greater than 0 or not. After checking whether if it is greater than 0, data is equal to list dot length minus 1, and it keeps on minusing 1 minus 1 minus 1 as we have given it is in a while loop. B is equal to data dot split. Okay, so first of all, let's print data. Okay, so why is it now giving an error to me? Okay, where control Z. Date. Oh no, no, no. Print data. Control save, run the code. A. Okay, so A is basically nothing, not recognized as function. Yes, A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Enter. Yes. Why is it not printing the value? Like it is simply giving me blank, nothing. List dot append friend data. So I think that it does not append uh, JSON format thing. So we need to append both those things separately. Friend name as well, comma, friend number as well. Okay, quick. Please work fast. Y. A. Enter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Enter. Okay. Okay. I understand that you take only one argument. So first of all, friend data backspace. So you would have to give this later. List dot append friend number. Okay. Control save. Run the code. Quick. Please be quick. So this tutorial is going too much long, but I can't do anything regarding this because okay, let's see the list. So basically C is doing nothing. Or I would simply print the list and check once. Print list, control save, run the code again. So this is why a programmer's work is very tough. Y, enter A, enter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, enter S, enter. So we are getting an empty list. That was what I was thinking from that time. Since list we have created here, then we are printing the list. We are appending some value. Mm, so what error is it giving us? List dot append. Why is it not working? So let's use the list function, which I didn't want it to use. Uh, Y enter, one enter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0 enter. Basically, it does not make any change, but quick. I write my whole name, then my own number in alphanumeric code. Okay, and book trace path. Not called it. So okay, so first of all, we need to remove this from here because it is of no use, and things which are of no use should be thrown away. But why is list not being called? Okay. I think that again it is in a function which is repeating itself. So list should be created right here. Let's now run the code again and check. So the live stream has been going on since a long time. Y enter, E enter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0 enter, S enter. Okay, so we are getting the data as well. We are also getting the number as well. Wow. Yes, so at last we are able to get the data properly. What I was thinking was exactly true, and exactly true. So great, ultra great. List, not length or length minus one. Length minus one, print data. Okay, we now don't need to print data as we are 100% sure that it is working. Then we don't want to split the data as well because now we are not done. Name is equal to name is equal to data, and there's nothing what we can do exactly. Okay, so how would now we come to know that whether it is, so now we can't exactly categorize into name and number. The only thing which we can do is print data. Okay, and now we don't need to print the list as well. So everything is seeming to me as quite nice. And after getting the length, okay. Name of the person, number of the person, name of the person, number of the person. And another thing, data is equal to list and let it be length. Data 2, I will write length and it would print data 2, no, data 2, yes, data 2. Let's save it and run it once to see how it works. Because this is really time consuming code, which I also found it very difficult. So enter your friend's name E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, enter. Yes, I would like to enter my new friend, which is B, with a very great number, which is 0, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then I will press enter. Okay, now I would like to see my friends list, and that is not working. So the list index is out of the range. So what exactly the error is? Data 2, we are not getting data 2. So let's give here a length minus 2, length minus, yes, I understood. The length is 2, so we need to give length minus 2 to get the data properly. A, no, not A. Yes, no, Y. My friend is A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Y. My friend's is B, whose number is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hit done. And now I would like to see my friends list. So I press S and B and I get the friend number. Okay, so here what the problem is that we are getting the second friend's name which we had entered previously, but we are not getting the first friend's name. So why is this so? Tell me. List.append, list.append, append. Why is not working? Okay, just check with more than two values. So what exactly the problem is? Y enter, A enter, 1 enter, Y enter, B enter, 2 enter. Okay, no, we give nothing. Y enter, A enter, 3 enter, S enter, A 3. Okay, so the problem is that it is giving us the last data whatever it gets, and it is simply minusing 1 from the length. So until length is greater than 0, so this should run. Mm, let's also print again. We need to print the list to check whether the error is of the list or the error is from the reading part of our list. So list is basically very helpful when storing and reading, but it is also tough to master list. Again, I would enter some value which would be B2 and again enter a value. value y c 3, enter. I would see the value. Okay, so quite good, quite good, quite perfect. Length minus, okay, so I think length minus 2, length minus 1. So it gave us the last two values, and it would, after minusing 1, mine. Okay, so one thing what I would change is length is equal to length minus 2. Let's now work. Let's see. I hope whether it would work in this way. Okay. Y enter, A enter, 1 enter, Y enter, B enter, 2 enter, S enter. Okay, so now at last it is giving us the complete MacBook, not MacBook, the front book. So it's really very happy. Like I'm very happy to see that the results are as good as they should be. The name, since the first thing what we are entering in the list is the friend name. So the first thing what we would get will also be the friend name. So we'll write name colon space comma data, and now the same thing below, but the second thing what we are getting is number. So we would write number colon space comma. Okay, done. And now the last thing, since we had also given a part for the user whether it can also be n as well, so we will not be checking for that. Yes for y for yes, and for no, okay, to c. So else we would simply write print thank you for using our program. Done. Control save. So I hope this would be working properly. And just for some cleanliness in our code, so in end of the code it would give two spaces, print empty space, print empty space. Control save. Now let's run it. Okay, friend book. I'm very happy to see my program working, not working exactly. Let's say N. Thank you for using a program. Okay, okay. I'm very obliged to use a program. Then let's see S. So we see nothing because no friend is there. So it is working properly. So enter your friend's name. So this is the correct time to add my friend's name, which is me myself. Because if you don't care about yourself, no one will care about you. Enter your friend's number. So my own number is alphanumeric code, which is, I will type it as, yes, done. Enter. Let's see our friends list. So then it gives us the friends list, as you can see. Let's add one more friend to our friends list, which would be find your friend's name, which is my best friend in my school. I don't know his number, so this is I think what I would give. And done. Let's see our list now. So now it is properly giving the name, and again the name of both the friends, so and so. So it is working quite properly. The only thing which it is not doing is that I forgot to give the print statement empty so that like it would separate the two things. Now let's run it. Y enter, E enter, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0 enter. Y and I would like to enter one more friend, 0 1 2 3 enter. Now I would like to see my friends list. So yes, now it is working properly. The name of my friend B and his phone number I had written. Like it is really great like to create a list so and so. But the problem is that once you close the terminal, the whole data in the list will be erased as it is empty in the starting. So in the next part, we will be creating a folder, writing the data to it, reading the data to it. And since we are creating another file, which will be a text file, so that would be again very helpful for us because the data will be preserved in that file after writing to that file and reading to that file. So I hope you liked the tutorial, friends. You understood what exactly a list is. we did a really very tough job in our code, and you also saw how tough it was. So first of all, what we did is that we created a basic friend book program in which we get input from whether the user would like to add his friend or not. Y for yes, N for no, and S to see his friends list. And if the user enters Y, whether it is in uppercase, lowercase, no matter, because we are converting it to lowercase with our this command. We had also learned about this command and the uppercase command in our previous class. And then we check whether what value he has entered, whether Y, whether S, or whether he has entered nothing or N. So then if it is Y, then it says enter your friend's name. That means that we want to add our friend's name, friend's number, and then we append those values to the list. And similarly, if A is equal to S, which means that the user wants to see the list, so we write length is equal to len, and this is a function length. Please remember these things, friends. So the main thing what you need to remember is the list, how it exactly looks like. So list is list, like this is just a variable name in which I'm storing. It may be A, it may be anything, and in square brackets is the data which is stored. However, it is separated by a comma symbol, not in double quotes, or else it would become a string. So then that is a list, and then you can add that data to a list using append. As I told you, you can add the data using append, remove the data using remove, and give the variable name and like the data which you want to remove. But both of the things to remove, which is remove and pop, are quite difficult because you need to remember what thing you need to remove, and pop you need to remember the length of or the part. Like if the in the list, when you say 1 2 3 comma 1 2 3 comma 2 2 3, so what happens is that the first part which is there, it will be characterized by the length or the part 0. Then this part would be characterized by part 1, and this would be characterized by the part 2. So many times people do the mistake that this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. So this is why I had also done -2 and -1 as well below. If you are seeing, like after adding the list, if the person wants to read the list, so we get the length of the list using the length function, and we check whether the length is greater than 0. What does exactly length greater than 0 means? Previously the 0 has nothing, that means that the length of the list is 0. So then definitely the person has entered nothing in his friends list. So then we don't print anything. And if his length is greater than 0, then data is equal to list and length minus 2. So take the length as 4. So length minus 2, that would be 2. So it would print the 2, and the length minus 1 is equal to 3. So it would enter 3. And I hope you know that if the length is 4, that means that there are 4 parts which are 0, 1, 2, 3. So in length minus 2, in our given example, it would print 3, sorry 2, as the length is 4, 4 minus 2 is equal to 2. And in the second part it would print 4 minus 1 is equal to 3. So second and third part, this is why I had given length minus 2 and length minus 1. We can't give length minus 1 and length minus nothing in the data 2 part. And since, like, you should also remember what you had previously written as well. Previously we had written friend name previously and friend number later, and also while adding it to the list we had previously added a friend name. So we would also get the friend name previously and friend number later. So this is the difference between those two. We will first get the name, so we'll be writing name comma data and print number comma data 2. Data 2 and data are just variable names, so please do remember it. And since we have got two datas from this, I actually we got, yes, we got two datas from it, and we don't want to repeat and go over those datas again and again. We would do length minus 2, so that the data which is previously there with length lesser than 2, or else what would happen, it would again repeat on the same thing and it would get nothing. So length minus 2, because we are getting two datas. If we are getting just one data, you may even write length minus 1, and then we give a print statement. This is for just making the program after running spacious. And else, thank you for using our program. So I hope you understood the topic, friends. You understood what exactly list is, how exactly one can store the data it in using append and insert, how one can remove the data by using the dot remove and dot pop function. I hope you liked the video and you also like the logic used in our today's program. Please do like, share, subscribe my video. Thank you.